বাইদেউ আহিলে
হয় হয় দেখা পাইছো তেনেহলে আমি আৰম্ভ কৰিব বিচাৰিছো নমস্কাৰ সকলোলৈকে সন্ধিয়াৰ শুভকামনা জনাইছো বিশেষ অসুবিধাৰ বাবে মই ভিডিঅ' অন কৰিব পৰা নাই তাৰ বাবে ক্ষমা বিচাৰিছো আজি বিশ্ব শিশু শ্ৰমিক বিৰোধী দিৱস উপলক্ষে আয়োজন কৰা এই বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠানটিত উপস্থিত গড়গাঁও মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ সন্মানীয় অধ্যক্ষ ডক্টৰ সব্যসাচী মহন্ত ডাঙৰীয়া উপাধ্যক্ষ তথা আজিৰ এই অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ অন্যতম উদ্যোক্তা প্ৰাণী বিজ্ঞান বিভাগৰ মুৰব্বী অধ্যাপক ডক্টৰ ৰীনা সন্দিকৈ বাইদেউ অসমীয়া বিভাগৰ মুৰব্বী অধ্যাপক নীলাক্ষী চেতিয়া বাইদেউ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ মহিলা কোষৰ সমন্বয়ক ডক্টৰ পাকিজা বেগম বাইদেউ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ আভ্যন্তৰীণ মান নিৰূপণ কোষৰ সমন্বয়ক ডক্টৰ সুৰজিত শইকীয়া ডাঙৰীয়া আৰু মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ 11 আছাম গাৰ্লছ কয়ৰ NCCৰ CTO পিমিলি লাংথাচা বাইদেউ আৰু এই অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ সমল ব্যক্তি আমাৰ সকলোৰে শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ জ্যেষ্ঠ অধ্যাপক ৰাজনীতি বিজ্ঞান বিভাগৰ মুৰব্বী তথা সহযোগী অধ্যাপক ডক্টৰ পৱন কুমাৰ গগৈ ডাঙৰীয়া আৰু গড়গাঁও মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ পৰিয়ালৰ সকলো সন্মানীয় সদস্য তথা সমূহ অংশগ্ৰহণকাৰী আপোনালোক সকলোকে আজিৰ এই অনুষ্ঠানটিলৈ আদৰণি জনাইছো আমি সকলোৱে জানো যে আজিৰ দিনটো বিশ্ব শিশু শ্ৰমিক বিৰোধী দিৱস হিচাপে পালন কৰা হয় শিশু শ্ৰম বুলিলে আমি সাধাৰণতে শিশুৰ বাবে ক্ষতিকাৰক শাৰীৰিক মানসিক সামাজিক বা নৈতিকভাৱে বিপজ্জনক কামত তেওঁলোকক নিয়োজিত কৰি তেওঁলোকক শিক্ষাৰ যি মৌলিক অধিকাৰ সেই অধিকাৰৰ পৰা বঞ্চিত কৰাকে বুজো যিয়ে শিশুৰ নিষ্কলুষ শৈশৱ কাঢ়ি লয় বিশেষকৈ উন্নয়নশীল আৰু অনুন্নত ৰাষ্ট্ৰসমূহত শিশু শ্ৰমিক বা শিশু শ্ৰম এতিয়াও এক চিন্তনীয় বিষয় সেয়ে 2002 চনত আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় শ্ৰমিক সংস্থাই এই বিষয়টোৰ প্ৰতি দৃষ্টি আকৰ্ষণ কৰিবলৈ 12 জুন তাৰিখটো বিশ্ব শিশু শ্ৰমিক বিৰোধী দিৱস হিচাপে পালনৰ সিদ্ধান্ত গ্ৰহণ কৰে এই বৰ্ষৰ এই দিৱসটিৰ মূল বিষয়বস্তু হৈছে সকলোৰে বাবে সামাজিক ন্যায় আৰু শিশু শ্ৰমিকৰ অন্ত গতিকে আজি শিশু শ্ৰমিকৰ বিষয়ে শিশু শ্ৰমিক সম্পৰ্কীয় বা শিশু সম্পৰ্কীয় বিভিন্ন অধিকাৰ এই সম্পৰ্কে আমি আলোচনা কৰিবৰ বাবে এই অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ আয়োজন কৰা হৈছে আমি অনুষ্ঠানটি আৰম্ভ কৰাৰ পূৰ্বে আমাৰ গড়গাঁও মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ সন্মানীয় উপাধ্যক্ষ ডক্টৰ ৰীনা সন্দিকৈ বাইদেউক অনুৰোধ জনাইছো অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ শুভ উদ্বোধনৰ বাবে
শুভ সন্ধ্যা সকলোকে আজি শিশু শ্ৰমিক বিৰোধী দিৱসৰ শুভকামনা জনাইছো আজি গড়গাঁও মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ প্ৰাণী বিজ্ঞান বিভাগ অসমীয়া বিভাগ IKSC আৰু NCCৰ উদ্যোগত যি ৱেবিনাৰ আয়োজন কৰিছে ইয়াত উপস্থিত গড়গাঁও মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ সন্মানীয় অধ্যক্ষ মহোদয় অসমীয়া বিভাগৰ মুৰব্বী অধ্যাপক নীলাক্ষী চেতিয়া বাইদেউ মহিলা কোষৰ সম্পাদক ডক্টৰ পাকিজা বেগম ডাঙৰীয়ানী আৰু NCCৰ সমন্বয়ক পিমিলি লাংথাচা ডাঙৰীয়ানী আৰু IKSC সমন্বয়ক ডক্টৰ সুৰজিত শইকীয়া ডাঙৰীয়া আৰু ইয়াত উপস্থিত বিভিন্ন বিভাগৰ অধ্যাপক অধ্যাপিকাসকল আৰু মৰমৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল আজি এই বিশ্ব শিশু শ্ৰমিক বিৰোধী দিৱস 12 জুন তাৰিখে অনুষ্ঠিত কৰা হয় আৰু এই অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ তাৎপৰ্য ইতিমধ্যে আমাৰ দেৱজানী বকলিয়াল ডাঙৰীয়ানীয়ে থুৰতে অলপ কৈয়ে গৈছে আমি সকলোৱে জানো যে শিশু শ্ৰমিক বুলি কথাটো ক'লে আমাৰ অকমান বেয়া লাগে কাৰণ শিশু কালটো তেওঁলোকৰ খেলা ধূলা বা পঢ়া শুনা এই সময়টো তেওঁলোকে শৈশৱকালটো এনেকৈ কটাব লাগে। আমি যেতিয়া সৰু আছিলোঁ তেতিয়া শৈশৱকালটো বেছিভাগ সময় খেলা ধূলাতে পাৰ কৰিছিলোঁ। কিন্তু এতিয়া আমি দেখিবলৈ পাইছোঁ যে বহুত ঠাইত ব্যক্তিগত খণ্ডতে হওক বা ৰাজহুৱা খণ্ডতে হওক বা অন্যান্য উদ্যোগবিলাকতে হওক শিশু শ্ৰমিকসকলক বহুতো নিয়োজিত কৰা হয়, যিটো আমাৰ সমাজৰ কাৰণে একেবাৰে শুভলক্ষণ নহয়। শিশুসকলৰ এই শিশুকালটো তেওঁলোকৰ যি প্ৰাপ্য, তেওঁলোকক খেলা ধূলাৰ কাৰণে যি সুবিধা দিব লাগে বা পঢ়া শুনাৰ কাৰণে যিখিনি সুবিধা দিব লাগে, তেওঁলোকৰ হয়তো অভিভাৱকে সেইখিনি নোৱাৰিবও পাৰে। কিন্তু আমাৰ সমাজৰ তেওঁলোকৰ প্ৰতি এটা দায়িত্ব যে শিশুসকলে তেওঁলোকৰ যিখিনি অধিকাৰ সেইখিনি পাব লাগে। গতিকে আজি এই দিৱসটোত আমি সকলোৱে এই কথাটোত একমত হ'ব লাগে বা আমি ইয়াৰ বিৰুদ্ধেও শিশু শ্ৰমিকৰ বিৰুদ্ধেও বা শিশু শ্ৰমিকৰ যি ব্যৱস্থা, এই ব্যৱস্থাটোৰ বিৰুদ্ধেও আমি সকলোৱে থিয় দিব লাগে। গতিকে এই অনুষ্ঠানটোত আজি উপস্থিত আমাৰ সন্মানীয় সমল ব্যক্তি, মই ক'বলৈ পাহৰিছো, সমল ব্যক্তি ডক্টৰ পৱন গগৈ ডাঙৰীয়া, ৰাজনীতি বিজ্ঞান বিভাগৰ সন্মানীয় বিভাগীয় প্ৰধান তেখেত আছে। তেখেতে আপোনালোকক এই শিশু শ্ৰমিক বিৰোধী দিৱসৰ বিষয়ে বহলাই ব্যাখ্যা কৰিব। মই বিশেষ নকওঁ, সকলোকে পুনৰবাৰ ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো, অভিনন্দন জনাইছো আৰু এই দিৱসটোৰ বা এই আমাৰ ৱেবিনাৰখনিৰ বা এই অনুষ্ঠানটোৰ সাফল্য কামনা কৰিছো আৰু সকলোকে পুনৰ ধন্যবাদ জনাই আজি এই অনুষ্ঠানটো উদ্বোধন কৰা হ'ল বুলি ঘোষণা কৰিলো। ধন্যবাদ।
আন্তৰিক ধন্যবাদ বাইদেউ। খুব সুন্দৰকৈ আজিৰ দিনটোৰ বিষয়ে, আজিৰ দিনটোৰ তাৎপৰ্য সম্পৰ্কে ব্যাখ্যা কৰি অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ শুভ উদ্বোধন কৰাৰ বাবে আপোনালৈ পুনৰবাৰ আন্তৰিক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো। এতিয়া আমি আমাৰ আজিৰ এই অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ সমল ব্যক্তি, আমাৰ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ জ্যেষ্ঠ অধ্যাপক, ৰাজনীতি বিজ্ঞান বিভাগৰ মুৰব্বী তথা সহযোগী অধ্যাপক ডক্টৰ পৱন গগৈ ডাঙৰীয়াক আজিৰ দিৱসটোৰ তাৎপৰ্য, শিশুৰ অধিকাৰ, শিশু শ্ৰমৰ বিৰোধিতা ইত্যাদি সন্দৰ্ভত আলোচনাটি আগবঢ়াবৰ বাবে অনুৰোধ জনাইছো।
ধন্যবাদ দেৱযানী। শুভ সন্ধ্যা জনাইছো। বিশেষভাৱে আজি মোৰ এই যিটো দায়িত্ব দিয়া হৈছে, এই দায়িত্বটো মই এক্সিডেণ্টলি খুব কম সময়তে মই নিজকে প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰিবলগীয়া হৈছিল। গতিকে মই ভাবোঁ যে যিখিনি মই কম সেইখিনি বহুখিনি ভুল থাকি যাব পাৰে, আপোনালোকে সেইখিনি মাৰ্জনা কৰিব। আজি অনুষ্ঠানটো প্ৰথমে মই আমাৰ মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ অধ্যক্ষ মহোদয়ক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছোঁ, শ্ৰদ্ধা জনাইছোঁ, উপাধ্যক্ষ মহোদয়ক শ্ৰদ্ধা জনাইছোঁ আৰু এই অনুষ্ঠানৰ লগত জড়িত IQAC কোঅৰ্ডিনেটৰ সুৰজিত শইকীয়া, ডক্টৰ সুৰজিত শইকীয়া, অসমীয়া বিভাগ, উইমেন চেল, NCC আমাৰ গোটৰ সকলো সন্মানীয় সদস্যকে বা পদাধিকাৰী সকলোকে মই আন্তৰিক শ্ৰদ্ধা জনাই মোৰ এই মই যিটো প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰিছোঁ অকণমান সময়ৰ ভিতৰতে, যিখিনি মই কৰিবৰ কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিছিলোঁ সেইখিনি আপোনালোকৰ আগত ক'বৰ কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিম। কথাকেইটা ক'ম, আপোনালোকে যদি কিবা অসুবিধা হয় তেতিয়াহ'লে আপোনালোকে মোক সুধিব পাৰিব আৰু মই চেষ্টা কৰিম যাতে যিমান পাৰোঁ আপোনালোকক মই কিছু নতুন কথা ক'বৰ কাৰণে বা শিশু শ্ৰমিকৰ বিৰোধিতা কৰিবৰ কাৰণে বিশ্বত যি ধৰণৰ পদক্ষেপ গ্ৰহণ কৰা হৈছে সেই সকলোবিলাক কিছু কথা মই আপোনালোকক অৱগত কৰিবৰ কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিম। So very good afternoon, evening to all. Actually, we are very mentally aware of the concept of child labor. All of you, and including me, know about the child labor, but still, we should try to understand the meaning of child labor. So, child labor is a process which promotes the child to engage in physical and mental works. It may be either forcefully or voluntarily they are engaged in the greater labor force. So in this lecture, I have divided my talks into four sections. First section will include reason behind the child labor. Second section is arguments against the child labor. Third section will be UNO's rule against child labor. Then lastly, I includes in Indian Constitution and laws against child labor. So I'm trying to begin with the reason behind the child labor. So child labor is a very complex issue with multiple contributing factors. There is no single reason behind child labor, as it is influenced by various social, economic, and cultural factors. Here are some key reasons that contribute to child labor. Number one, poverty. Poverty is one of the main driving forces behind child labor. When families live in extreme poverty, children are often forced to work to supplement their family's income. Parents may view child labor as a necessary means to provide for basic needs such as food, shelter, and education. So, first point is poverty. Second point is lack of access to education. Limited access to quality education is a significant factor contributing to child labor. When educational opportunities are scarce, children are more likely to engage in labor instead of attending schools. Illiteracy and lack of skills perpetuates the cycle of poverty and increase the uh, likelihood in child labor. So, second one is lack of access to education. Third reason behind the child labor is weak legal frameworks and enforcement. Insufficient or inadequate legislations, weak enforcement mechanism contributes to the prevalence of child labor. In some countries, laws protecting children from exploitation may exist, but they are poorly enforced or lack resources for implementation. So, third point is weak legal frameworks and enforcement. Number four reason behind the child labor is demand for cheap labor. The demand for cheap and easily exploitable labor in certain industries such as agriculture, manufacturing, and informal sectors perpetuates child labor. Unscrupulous employers take advantage of vulnerable children who can be paid less and are less likely to assert their rights. So number four is demand for cheap labor. Number five is conflict and displacement. Conflict and displacement is one of the most important factors or reasons which can be included in the reason behind the child labor. During times of conflict, children are particularly vulnerable to exploitations, including forced labor. Uh, Displaced communities may resort to child labor as a means of survival and to cope with the challenges posed by displacement. Number six, limited labor protections. In some regions, weak or insufficient labor laws regulations fail to adequately protect children from exploitation. This creates an environment where child labor can flourish as employers can take advantage of the vulnerable situation of children. Number seven, cultural factors. In certain cultures and communities, child labor is normalized as a traditional practice. It may be seen as a means of teaching children skills or preparing them for adulthood. These cultural norms can perpetuate the cycle of child labor. Number eight, armed conflicts and displacements. In areas affected by armed conflicts or forced displacements, children are particularly vulnerable to exploitation. They may be forcefully recruited as soldiers, forced with labor, or trafficked for various purposes. Number nine, last but not the least, lack of awareness and enforcement. Insufficient awareness about the about the negative consequences of child labor and weak enforcement of existing laws and regulations contribute to the persistence of these problems. Without effective measures in place, child labor continues to strive. So these are the 9 reasons behind the child labor I have seen. So there may be other reasons, but still I have decided these are the major reasons uh, which can be identified as reason behind the child labor. Then second part, I want to include the argument against the child labor. So child labor, as you know, that just a minute. Actually, child labor is a serious issue that needs to be addressed and eradicated globally. Here are some arguments against child labor. So, violation of children's rights. Child labor is a direct violation of children's fundamental rights. Every child has a right to education, a safe and healthy environment, and the opportunity to develop physically, mentally, and emotionally. Child labor denies them these basic rights. Second number is adverse effects on education. Child labor forces children to work instead of attending schools. This deprives them of the chance of acquire knowledge, develop skills, and improve their future prospects. Lack of education perpetuates the cycle of poverty and hinders social and economic development. Number third, health and safety risks. Many child laborers are engaged in hazardous work conditions that pose a threat to their health and safety. Uh, they may be exposed to dangerous substances, heavy machinery, or physically demanding tasks. These even fatalities. So third one is health and safety risks. Number four is exploitation and abuse. Child labor often involves exploitation and abuse. Uh, children are vulnerable to exploitation due to their age and lack of legal protection. They may be subjected to long working hours, low wages, physical or verbal abuse, and even forced labor or trafficking. Number five is negative economic consequences. Contrary to the belief that child labor benefits the economy, it actually has long-term negative consequences. When children are forced to work, they are deprived of education and skill training, hindering their potential contribution to society as productive adults. This ultimately limits economic growth and perpetuates poverty. Next, number six is social and moral responsibility. This is not included. So these are the 5 reasons behind the why the child labor should be avoided or child labor should be restricted. So third part is UN's rules against child labor. So child labor is a grave concern that violates the rights of children and undermines their well-being and future prospects. The United Nations has been actively engaged in addressing this issue and has implemented various measures to protect children from exploitation in the form of child labor. So here are some key initiatives and measures taken by the UN. Number one, Convention on the Right of the Child, CRC. The CRC is a legally binding international treaty that sets out the civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights of children. It recognizes the right of every child to be protected from economic exploitation and hazardous works that may interfere with their education or harm their health and development. Second initiative of the UNO is International Labour Organization Conventions. The International Labour Organization, a specialized agency of the UNO, has adopted several conventions to combat child labor, including the Minimum Age Convention, number 138, and the Worst Form of Child Labor Convention, number 182. These conventions call for the elimination of child labor and provide guidance on setting minimum age limits or age limits for employment and prohibiting the worst form of child labor. Number 3, Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. Sustainable Development Goals adopted by UNO member states in 2015 include Goal 8.7, which aims to eradicate forced labor, modern slavery, human trafficking, and child labor by 2025. It calls the implementation of measures to end child labor in all its forms. Number 4, UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights. These principles provide a framework for businesses to respect human rights, including the right of children. They emphasize the responsibility of businesses to conduct due diligence to ensure they are not involved in child labor or any other human rights abuses. Number 5, awareness campaigns and advocacy. The UN and its agencies actively raise awareness about the issues of child labor through campaigns, public awareness programs, and advocacy efforts. These initiatives aim to mobilize governments, civil society organizations, and individuals to take action against child labor and promote the rights and well-being of children. Number 6, technical assistance and capacity building. The UN provides technical assistance and capacity building support to countries to strengthen their legal frameworks, institutions, and enforcement mechanisms to combat child labor effectively. This assistance includes training programs for government officials, judiciary, law enforcement agencies, and civil society organizations. Number 7, global partnerships. The UN collaboration with governments, non-governmental organizations, that means NGOs, businesses, and other stakeholders to form partnership and alliances to combat child labor. These partnerships promote information sharing, resource mobilization, and coordinated actions to address the root causes of child labor and protect children from exploitation. So these are the initiatives taken by the UNO to protect the child who are vulnerable to engaged in child labor. So it is very important to note that while the UNO and its agencies play a crucial role in addressing child labor, the responsibility to protect children rests with governments, communities, businesses, and individuals. Efforts must be made at all levels to enforce existing laws, strengthen child protection systems, improve access to quality education, and address the root causes of child labor, such as poverty, lack of social protections, and limited opportunities for decent work for adults. So these are the initiatives taken by the UNO to against the child labor. So now the last part, I'm going to give you some idea about the last part, Indian Constitution and laws against child labor. So Indian Constitution, you know that and laws have provisions against child labor to protect the rights of children and ensure their well-being. The primary legislation addressing child labor in India is the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, which was amended in 2016 to strengthen the protection of child labor. So these are the here are some key features of the Indian laws against child labor. So number one, child labor protections I have already mentioned. Prohibition and Regulation Act in 1986. These acts or law prohibits the engagement of children below the age of 14 in any occupation or process. It also sets regulations for the working condition of children between the ages of 14 and 18. Second act is Right to Education Act 2009. The Right to Education Act guarantees free and compulsory education for all children aged 6 to 14 years. This legislation aims to ensure that children have access to quality education and are not forced into labor instead of attending schools. So, Right to Education Act 2009 is a very important act which ensures the children to go to the school and have take their education in that age. So this is very important. So third number is Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2015. This act provides for the care, protection, and rehabilitation of children in needs of care and protection, including those involved in child labor. It emphasizes the importance of the best interest of the child and restoration of their rights. So Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2015 is very important. Then number 4, Minimum Age Convention. So India has ratified the International Labour Organization's Minimum Age Convention 1973, number 138, and the Worst Form of Child Labor Convention 1999, number 182. This convention sets international standards for the minimum age of employment and the elimination of the worst form of child labor. So Minimum Age Convention, which was taken by International Labour Organization, also accepted by India, and it is implemented in India. Number 5, National Child Labor Projects, NCLP, National Child Labor Project. The National Child Labor Project is a government initiative aimed at rehabilitating and mainstreaming children engaged in hazardous occupations. It provides them with education, vocational training, and other support services to ensure their well-being and development. So, National Child Labor Project is underway in India, which has given an opportunity to the children to have education, vocational training, and other support services to ensure their well-being and development. So next one is penalties and enforcements. The laws imposes penalties for employing children in prohibited occupations or processes, and for violation of the provision related to working conditions for children. The penalties can include imprisonment and fines. Then, if you see the Indian Constitution is concerned, the Constitution of India under Article 24 prohibits the employment of children below the age of 14 years in any very close industries or occupations. So, including all these things, the Indian Constitution Article 24 also ensures the protection of children. So, there are also other laws and regulations, various other laws and regulations such as the Factories Act, the Mines Act, the Plantation Labor Act have specific provision for the protection of child labor and the prohibition of child labor in hazardous industries. So the Government of India, these are the initiatives taken by the Government of India. So the Government of India, along with civil society organizations, worked towards the eradication of child labor through awareness campaigns, rescue operations, rehabilitation programs, and the enforcement of laws. Despite these efforts, child labor remains a significant challenge in certain parts of our country, particularly in the informal sector and marginalized communities, continued efforts and awareness are necessary to combat this issue and protect the right of children in India. Now I am include some other statistical data on child labor in India. So as per various reports, ILO, International Labour Organization reports, NASO reports, and other reports. Up to 2021, general statistics on child labor in India as on 2021 is according to the International Labour Organization, that means ILO, as of 2020, there were an estimated 10.1 million child laborers, which is between the ages of 5 to 17 years in India. However, it's important to note that this figure represents a significant decline from the 28 million child laborers estimated in 2001. So the majority of child labor in India is concentrated in rural areas. If you see, the majority of child labor is in rural areas, where children work in agriculture, including farming, herding livestock, and fishing. Child labor is also prevalent in the informal urban sector, including domestic work, street vending, and a small-scale manufacturing. The states with the highest prevalence of child labor in India includes Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. These states also have a large population and high poverty rates. So most of the maximum number of child labor is detected in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. So children engaged in hazardous form of labor, such as working in mines, fireworks, factories, and construction sites, are particularly vulnerable to physical and psychological harm. So Indian government have taken some efforts with the help of non-governmental organizations, then international partners, to address child labor through legislation, enforcement, and social programs. So these are the statistical data, which is not. Lastly, I want to conclude by saying that we have seen that when I explain my arguments in 4 sections or 5 sections. So I may conclude that just a minute. Child labor is a very important issue right now, and it should be addressed by internationally and nationally, and various legislations and laws and are under projects. So it is essential that government, civil society organizations, and individuals should work together to combat child labor. This can be achieved through creating and enforcing legislation, raising awareness, providing access to quality education, improving economic conditions for families, and supporting initiatives that address the root cause of child labor. By doing so, we can protect the child, and we can protect the rights and well-being of children and build a better future for all. This is my submission. Thank you all.
আন্তৰিক ধন্যবাদ স্যাৰ। আসলতে খুব কম সময়ৰ প্ৰস্তুতিৰে যদিও আপুনি খুব বিস্তাৰিত ৰূপত আৰু তথ্য সমৃদ্ধৰ ৰূপত আলোচনাটি আগবঢ়ালে, য'ত আমি বহুখিনি তথ্যৰ সম্ভেদ পালো, বহুখিনি নজনা কথা আমি জানিব পাৰিলো। শিশু শ্ৰমিক সৃষ্টি হোৱাৰ কাৰণ, লগতে কিয় শিশুসকলক শ্ৰমিক হিচাপে নিয়োজিত কৰাৰ পৰা তেওঁলোকক বন্ধ কৰা উচিত আৰু কেনেকৈ বন্ধ কৰিব পাৰি আৰু শিশু শ্ৰমৰ বিৰোধিতাৰে প্ৰৱৰ্তন কৰা বিভিন্ন আইন সম্পৰ্কে আমি আপোনাৰ বক্তৃতাৰ পৰা জানিব পাৰিলো। আপোনাক আমি পুনৰবাৰ ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো। গতিকে আমি আজিৰ অনুষ্ঠানটিৰ সামৰণি পৰ্যায়লৈ আগবাঢ়িছো আৰু শলাগ জ্ঞাপনৰ বাবে প্ৰাণী বিজ্ঞান বিভাগৰ সহকাৰী অধ্যাপক ডক্টৰ অনুৰাগ প্ৰতিম দাস ডাঙৰীয়াক অনুৰোধ জনাইছো।
ধন্যবাদ দেৱযানী। At first, I would like to thank Dr. Sabyasachi Mahanta sir, Principal Gorgaon College, for granting us permission for organizing the event. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Rina Hendrick ma'am, Vice Principal, Gorgaon College and Head, Department of Zoology, Gorgaon College, for inaugurating the program. Next, I would like to thank faculty members from the Departments of Assamese, Department of Zoology, Gorgaon College Women's Cell, IQSC, Gorgaon College, and NCC Unit, Gorgaon College. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Pawan Gogoi sir, the resource person for the event, for giving us such an informative session. And next, I would like to thank all the participating faculties from different departments and participating students. Thank you all. Good night.
ধন্যবাদ ডক্টৰ দাস ডাঙৰীয়া। শিশুৰ শৈশৱ সুৰক্ষিত সুস্থ সবল হলেহে দেশৰ ভৱিষ্যত সুস্থ সবল তথা সুৰক্ষিত হ'ব। আৰু এই বাণীৰে আমাৰ আজিৰ এই অনুষ্ঠানটি আমি সামৰিব বিচাৰিছো। সকলোলৈকে পুনৰবাৰ ধন্যবাদ। শুভৰাত্ৰি।